My beloved child, I beseech you to halt for a moment and allow this message to penetrate your heart. I'm not sending this to scare you. Instead, I'm sending it to protect you. This is not just a coincidence. This isn't a fantasy. I have attempted to contact you about this situation. Unfortunately, you were too preoccupied, distracted, or devastated to notice the warning indications. Archangel Michael has waited 2 hours to have a straight talk with you. He's been watching and waiting, his pulse racing, unable to postpone the statement he's about to deliver. Pay close attention. This is not a prank. Someone hired a private investigator who was caught for engaging in an activity related to you. Yes, you. An individual swapped cash. A guy provided clear directions. Someone has been silently watching you from the shadows. Furthermore, this is not a conversation about criminal activity. It includes obsessions, questions, and secrets. There were areas of your life about which this person had always been fascinated but was too afraid to ask. On the other hand, you have been spending your life unaware that you are being watched by eyes that do not flicker, by someone who wanted to discover more about you, but was unable to do so through your grin. As a result, they dispatched someone to investigate your situation. The goal was to keep the truth from being revealed. However, I, the Lord your God, will expose the concealed matters at the perfect time. It's now time. It will appear as if you are in a movie, but this is true. This is not enjoyable. Even the skies were taken aback by the mystery you are currently facing. My offspring, the individual apprehended, was skilled at navigating the spiritual sphere. He was the person who denied my request once. He had previously used his powers to identify people who were in distress. However, after discovering your presence, he underwent a metamorphosis. A fracture was present. He witnessed goodness. He heard the supplication. He noticed ancient wounds that you had never mentioned to anyone else. Furthermore, rather than telling anyone about his discoveries, he felt bad about it. He resigned his employment. Then he approached us. He ascended into paradise. Archangel Michael intervened at that precise moment. For the past 2 hours, Archangel Michael has been trying to speak with your spirit through whispers. He has made an effort to inform you. However, your heart is surrounded by a wall built as a result of previous offenses. However, if you read this message carefully, that wall will be demolished. Not because it is being torn, but because the truth has been exposed. A message of affection. Immediately stop. Before starting, allow your spirit to exhale. As you go through this awakening, remember that your assistance with this endeavor is not a hoax. It's a heavenly omen. Jesus claims that by giving water to others, you will receive it yourself. This isn't historical. It is an ongoing commitment to your future. Approach this situation with a strategy and faith. Giving can help you realize the potential that God has already built for your life. I'd like you to add a few words before proceeding. You agree to receive the truth, regardless of whether it causes you sorrow. Please confirm your agreement by typing Amen in the notes section below. Consider the wall dissolving in parts as you compose it. You are stronger than any wall built by the enemy because you have said yes to heaven. Proclaim Amen with the sound of chains breaking. If you're seeing this on video, click the subscribe button so you don't miss the next important message from me or Archangel Michael. These communications do not have any narratives. Adhering to these methods will result in your next major breakthrough, peace, and destiny. Ring the bell as well, as the next alert is approaching. A message of affection. I'd like to now seek an additional favor that will serve to magnify the significance of this blessing. Inform the person who needs this information that you have forwarded it. It may be a friend who believes they are being observed. It could be a family member who needs reassurance that they are safe. This prophetic message is more than just a video that you can post. In addition, you are bestowing the anointing upon them. I can promise you that helping others make progress accelerates your own enlightenment. When you touch them, you will receive the same anointing in a more powerful way. Pause the video for a moment. Select Share and send the file. Keep track of God's acts as you follow His directions. I'll now proceed. Initially, the person who hired the detective did not want to hurt you. Interest served as the trigger for the entire process. Love was the beginning. Initially, I was bewildered as to why you abruptly stopped communicating, fluctuated in energy, and then vanished. They were unable to inquire, so they adopted actions that benefited their own well-being above yours. However, they are currently terrified. They are conscious that they have made a mistake, and that God is watching them. Hearing this may make you feel deceived. Please keep in mind that each seed you plant in this quest will grow into a torch that shines light into another's darkness. Heaven progresses through the words of those who are willing, but it grows through the goodness of their souls. I'm currently addressing you in this method. Amish. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. The verse, "Give and it will be given to you," does not only apply to Jesus. It is an ongoing commitment that affects your future. I'd like to extend an invitation to you at this time through a simple act of trust. Approach this situation with a feeling of purpose, honesty, and hope. The amount you contribute today is not a donation. Your heavens are opened via the act of spiritual obedience. Relinquish your seed and witness what rewards God delivers into your life. However, there is something I need you to be aware of. You failed to remember. It protects you not just physically, but also emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. This is the reason why the investigator revealed the truth. Consequently, Archangel Michael intervened. This is why you are presently hearing this. You are wrapped in light, and no weapon intended to harm you will be effective. It is impossible that you were working without sight. You wore my blanket while walking. I prepared for the truth to surface in this way, regardless of whether you viewed me as silent, did not notice my presence, or had nights filled with unanswered prayers and sobbing. Someone is about to make a statement. They will accept responsibility for their actions. However, there is no reason for alarm. They do not arrive enraged. Shame is with them. They feared you had vanished permanently, and in their desperation, they took a decision that still haunts them. However, your heart is meant for something more, which I've been working hard to achieve. You are now advised to listen with your spirit, not your emotions. Things are about to happen that will shake you up, but will not wreck you. No, this is not going to happen. You were chosen for a cause that was far more important than being watched or suspected. You were never intended to be the focus of their investigation. You were meant to be a human. As previously indicated, I did make the statement. They will pretend to have committed the offense, but not because they were captured. Your lights caused damage to them. They were aware of your genuine identity, even when they dispatched someone to find it. Inhale deeply. It continues to happen. After that, let us depart, child. The information I am currently providing is correct. This isn't a fantasy. It is a spiritual reality. You do not need a thorough understanding of all of the facts at this time. Avoid closing your feelings. Allow your spirit to feel the same emotions as mine. The captured private investigator came to a stop after seeing an object. Nay, this was a single snapshot. An instant in which you were alone and unaware that anyone was watching you. There are no words or sounds, only your face. Nevertheless, there was something unsettling about your look. When he looked back, he described the experience as something akin to prayer. He brought that image with him when he came home. It awoke him from his rest at night. He believed that he was accountable for his feelings. However, he was oblivious of this. However, your vigor makes me change. This is why others are unable to understand you. That is why they will never forget about you. As a result, anyone who attempts to leave is forced to return to you. Because you were identified. My voice, mercy, and devotion have all served to identify me. Despite the fact that he was hired to complete a certain assignment, he uncovered something extremely valuable. You. Archangel Michael is currently quite close to you. As you hear this, he is illuminating your surroundings. In addition to assuring safety, it is critical to demonstrate. This is not just about what someone did behind your back, as you are aware. It refers to the reasoning of heaven's intervention. The time has come for falsehoods to be exposed. Secrets will no longer have any influence. Every spiritual trap, whispered scheme, and secret conversation is being found, deconstructed, and redirected as a result of your climb. Have you been experiencing that for a few days? The thing is being delivered by air. Those strange visions are approaching. That you are being treated inconsistently by different people, with resistance, attraction, or bewilderment. You've also been thinking about why you have such a strong sense of urgency. It is not a matter of tension, child. It bears the weight of divine timing. Things that have been happening in the world but are unseen to you are suddenly arriving on your timeline. A tempest is now happening, but there is a door hidden behind it. Someone who has previously closed the door in your face is going to knock again, but their hands are trembling. Regardless, you will not hesitate to unlock the door. You'll proceed with caution when opening it. Return with me. Do you remember when others misread your silence? When did they say you were excessively composed? When did they break their relationship with you because they couldn't understand your depth? To clarify, you were never similar to others. You introduce an aspect that causes anxiety in people who have not yet healed. The person who dispatched the investigator had no idea how resilient you were once they left. They thought you were delicate. Nonetheless, you transformed into fire. They expected you to fall upon their departure. However, you made a mistake. You and I secretly bonded through weeping and whispering in the dark. It is not symptomatic of your susceptibility to read texts like this one. Your spirit understands that I am interacting with you personally. It is now your turn to stand, but stay alert, because the next few events are critical. The individual who investigated you also left something behind. A note on a small piece of paper. His client didn't get it from him. He left it at a spiritual center without revealing his identity. It claims that the person you want is not deceptive. However, you are. I feel you should stop before the celestial realm gets involved. At that time, I directed my messengers to bring this message to you. In a mumble, I told Archangel Michael to leave. Wait for the youngster to discharge their essence. Also, converse with them when they do. You've landed at this spot. Archangel Michael is now speaking. You are on the verge of entering a fortunate future. Don't forget that this message doesn't end with your deeds. Users may use your invention to achieve their destinations. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you," it is not poetry. Every seed you sow grows into oil for your future, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. My sweetheart, the moment has come for you. Have confidence. And when you do so, watch God increase what you give up, a letter of love. I'll reiterate it. Please ensure that this message is complete. At this moment, show courage. Type, "I am the revelation" in the comments. Instead, I strive to be. No, maybe in the future. Nevertheless, I am. You are not just leaving a comment at this time. Your life is guided by a reality that cannot be hidden, probed, or concealed. It appears that you are recommending that no one should ever learn about you. You were meant to be demonstrated. If you found this useful, please subscribe or follow by clicking the icon. It is not restricted to videos. This refers to hearing good news from God regarding one's life. You've previously overlooked indications. Please ensure that you attend the following event. Ensure that all alerts are operational. Keep in mind that God is with you and heaven is talking with you. A message of affection. When you click the subscribe button, you aren't just keeping up with a channel. You are establishing your place in the spirit realm under an open sky. Each subscription is analogous to a soul proclaiming, "Lord, I am prepared for my prophetic alignment." Heaven takes attention when you do this. A physical deed opens a spiritual gateway. Execute the action instantly. Purchase it now. Also pay attention to how God directs your efforts toward people, places, and promises that have been waiting for your arrival. Please receive this communication with warm feelings. Pardon them. Yes, the person who unlawfully invaded your premises. Even the person who refrained from speaking and instead observed. I need a pure heart to interact with your story. I am writing a rejoinder that will shock folks who thought they were familiar with you. Furthermore, it is not restricted to a particular person. So, there are others who are observing. Not everyone who grins is on your side. Not everyone who inquires about your health is concerned for your well-being. However, this is unimportant. The most essential thing is that I keep your root spotless. I am eliminating fabricated vitality. Motivations are being demonstrated. I will also close the eyes of anyone who wants to see your destiny without your permission. They are not interested in your future. They cannot examine your journey. You're mine. These days are quite important. You can receive a message expressing regret or asking, "Hey, would you like to discuss?" in an unusual manner. The message may have come from an unknown number. It may arrive in person. However, it is critical to stop when it happens. Avoid speaking when you are uncomfortable. Speak from the highest levels. There is no cause to be concerned or conceal oneself, because the truth has finally come to your rescue. Furthermore, child, this is merely the start. Then, child, stay with me. The following statement will dramatically affect your emotional condition. Nothing is happening by chance right now. It closely matches the items for which you have been praying. Regardless of whether you remember the prayer, even if you recited it to yourself in hushed tones on a frigid night while you glanced at the ceiling, thinking I would hear. Certainly, I observed. I am consistently present. This is why you are receiving this message at this moment. The investigator was apprehended because I allowed it to happen. I was certain that the truth would be disclosed, and it was. I am too much in love with you to let others bring you any inconvenience without consequences. This isn't about retaliation. It refers to revelation. As a result, you no longer mistrust your own instincts. I shall demonstrate the events that took place behind closed doors. You stopped ignoring the auditory indications that indicated that something was wrong. You were right. You are consistently correct. Nonetheless, you continued to have misgivings. You tried to suppress your emotions because you thought you were being overly emotional, dramatic, or sensitive. False. God warned you. God is currently informing you that the outcome of your deeds will be determined by your decision. Currently, the recovery process that I have already started will be hampered if you remain motionless and little. If you choose to proceed with trust, forgive what you already know, and protect what is still forming, you will witness a metamorphosis beyond imagination. What is Archangel Michael up to right now? He is keeping track of your vital signs. It's intriguing to see how your spirit reacts to this reality. Waiting by your side until your heart says, "Yes, I am prepared." Because if you truly allow him into your heart, he will move rapidly. Things that you expected to take months or even years to materialize will begin within days of his relocation. The entrances will be opened by swinging. Conversations will begin abruptly. Individuals will react differently to you because they believe you have undergone a metamorphosis, regardless of whether they understand why. The person who attempted to investigate you through another person will either abandon you or return to give up the effort. God protects you, and nobody is safe when he does. I previously informed you that this would have the sense of a film, but there is one caveat. You are more than just the story's protagonist. What a revelation you are. You are the moment that changes the story for others. It appears that the person who first believed they could surreptitiously observe you has suddenly realized that you are not a target to be tracked. You deserve to be recognized by the worldwide community. You may feel uneasy. It's conceivable you won't understand. However, don't let that sentiment impact this moment. It is my hope that my comments are heard over your concerns. The lights will now be turned on, revealing all that has been concealed. Not only with your friends and family, but also with your money, purpose, and goals. You will no longer be confused because you are currently obtaining an explanation. The person who came up with this notion thought they needed help understanding you, but they had no idea they were looking for facts. Their goal was to achieve calm. They also believed you had it. You're the one who does. However, surveillance will not make you feel at ease. When one stops concealing the truth, peace will follow. Pay close heed, as the subsequent events are sacred. Please consider lighting a candle alone tonight, if possible. Please be silent and attentive. Deactivate your mobile device. Music and commotion are absent. Heaven is your only buddy. Then repeat these words aloud. I allowed the truth to be disclosed. I seek clarity. I forgive those who disobeyed the law and ask God and his messengers to protect me. I got over my nervousness. I believe in divine timing. I'm uninjured. I am prepared. I am being observed. As a result, a change will occur following your statement. You'll see it before the weekends. A message, a situation, a name, or an unusual event that seems too specific to be ignored. This serves as evidence for you. When this happens, do not consider it strange. Declare it to be God. And more love letter is enclosed. Continue to concur with the heavens. Type Amen again in the comments section, this time emphasizing the sentiment. Allow the sound of this amen to mark the transition from the waiting room to your manifestation. Be aware that angels are commemorating this moment as you write it. Amen is more than just a word to you. In accordance with this spiritual contract, I am ready for my acceleration. If you found this message to be positive, please remember to subscribe. This will not only benefit the channel, but will also ensure that you receive all divine updates that are specifically intended for you. What message does this person wish to convey to you at this time? What is God's intention for your name in rooms that you have not yet entered? Discover the solution in the following message. Ring the bell. Prepare. If you haven't already, now is the time to subscribe. I'm concerned that the messages you've left may cause you to miss out on an opportunity to experience something from paradise. As a result, I encourage you to continue reading them. After subscribing, you are admitted to a prophetic flow. You are instructing God to listen to me, and I am prepared. I will not overlook your comments. He holds it in high regard. He will begin to communicate with you in a genuine, intimate, and timely manner as a result of these messages. Please click the button to subscribe immediately. Allow it to serve as an affirmation of your alignment with God. There is still much to say in the realm of heaven. A message of affection. My darling, you are not alone. Archangel Michael will not leave you. He has already created paths for you that you have yet to travel. Traps that were being concealed have already been addressed. Divine justice is approaching. Therefore, there is no need for concern. It was calm, clear, and sharp, as opposed to furious or boisterous. Are you really experiencing that? That is your consciousness recalling something it has always known. It is secure for you. Then, kid, pay close attention, because this final section is where your heart has been waiting in silence for a turning point. The truth has been revealed. The person was apprehended. Currently, the mysteries are openly revealed. The eyes that had previously observed in darkness have now seen light. However, your response determines the next steps. Not out of dread or rage, but with calm, knowing that I, your God, have planned the entire thing. No authority belongs to you. You were never that. You were unaware of how secure you genuinely are. Events will move more quickly as your knowledge and spiritual clarity grow. Individuals who previously ignored your presence will now begin to recognize your name. People who were once dubious of your abilities will now make positive remarks about you behind your back. The person who pays to hear your story will be unable to refute your impact. Nonetheless, I'll provide you with the essential instructions. Refrain from moving because each degree of elevation increases your exposure. People will take notice of you more as I elevate you, not only for your talent, but also for your liveliness, which reveals my magnificence. People will be curious. An individual may ask a question. Some people may even discuss it. Nevertheless, it will have no effect on you since I have sealed your life, built a divine wall around your name, and guaranteed your fate in paradise. I cannot undo the actions I am going to take on you. You are unable to stop from making contact. Nobody can erase the words I've written about you in the books of paradise. I'll now reveal the most amazing part. The private investigator's behavior has changed as a result of your revelation of your identify. He saw something in you that made him think about the life he was leading. You were more than just a topic for a project. You converted into a mirror, revealing to him the depths of his emptiness. He is currently without a job. He intends to find me. He's reciting from the Bible. He seeks calm, and the angels are content. Not because he was arrested, but because he had been convicted. Dear infant, you are unaware of your enormous strength. People recuperate without physical interaction. It is possible to speak with spirits without the need of words. Even those who come into your life with negative intentions leave with a revelation. That is the essence of being selected. What steps will be taken next? Prepare yourself spiritually, emotionally, and even physically, as an important event is approaching in the next 10 days. It is possible that you want to disregard it. It may occur to you, but this will not be the case. It will be a divine arrangement, a moment that moves your chronology forward, a conversation, an invitation, or a spiritual gathering. Keep an eye out for it. When the opportunity occurs, respond with your spirit, not your scars. You do not have to provide any evidence. You do not have to reveal your identify. My favor and energy will suffice. One more thing that Archangel Michael wants you to understand. He is aware of the nights in which you sobbed alone. He heard the prayers you said to your pillow, which you were confident no one else was hearing except you. He saw that you harbor affection for people who do not always reciprocate your regard. He is currently watching me give you a gift. Indeed, restitution is appropriate, given the objects you lost were never actually gone. It was returned to me so that I might make it in larger quantities. I'm returning it, but this time it's larger, stronger, safer, and more secure. You're not regressing. You do not engage in repetitious tasks. You are not even aware that you are upsetting generational patterns, since heaven witnessed a transformation in your name when you chose to forgive, heal, and listen to this message without letting hubris interfere. Finally, I have one last statement to make. Another person will use your story to help them survive. The message that was meant to bring you down is now being transformed into one that will lift you up. There are countless rooms full of opportunities, and people are murmuring your name. You are entering doors that you have not yet passed through. Hearts are ready to receive you. Your secret self is not permitted in this location, as I, the Lord your God, am making room for you. Not the person who shrunk down to fit in, but the true you, the one I created, is the one who hears what heaven has to say and not only receives, but also becomes one. This is your opportunity. The person who was previously watching you from behind will now observe you in public as you ascend. Your miraculous elevation will now be visible to the person who had misgivings about you. You, who are beautiful, brave, and selected, will be able to move forward with peace because you will finally understand. You will be secure at all times. I will protect you at all times. A message of affection. Finally, if this message connected with you, darling, please do not leave without subscribing or following. It is not just a message. These are God's indicators that something is in order, and the next one may serve as the trigger for your breakthrough. Depress the chimes. Do not disregard the following love letter from heaven. I would like you to take action that is both simple and effective. Please quickly press the like button before we proceed. That love is not limited to the computer. It activates a device. Your favor is accepted, God. That's you. I'm glad to have you in my life. Every time you hit the trigger, you create a spiritual impression that says, I am convinced. I understand. Heaven and I agree. Although you agree with the divine, the angels carry out their responsibilities on your behalf. Okay, you may proceed. This movie shows the beginning of the metamorphosis. This message has been secured. It's been completed. Archangel Michael sees this. I agree with you. I invite you to embark on a trip into your new life. I will see you at that location. Now, child, let me gently take you through the final section of this message, since there is more to share. The truth calms your emotions and spirit. Yes, there is still more to say in paradise. This message was not intended primarily as a warning. It wasn't only about the private investigator or the person who hired him. This not only made you realize your genuine identity, it also alarmed others because you had been incorrect about your strength for a long time. Your light has been dimmed throughout your life to accommodate places that were not designed for you. You reduced your volume to maintain peace and quiet. You tolerated the discomfort because you thought it was a sign of affection. You have not issued any remarks to discourage people from leaving. However, as a child, you became engaged in the silence. I am currently re-establishing your connection with your divine identity. You were not meant to be small. Your mere being was meant to dispel the gloom. Your smile is different. It improves. You're not particularly good at being quiet. This is sacred. Even if they thought they were far away, that individual could sense it. They were unable to explain the phenomenon or remove the attraction. They were unable to go because their spirits could hear something ancient via your energy. You carry the sound of paradise. They were curious. They did, in fact, break the boundaries. However, they found no evidence of corruption or secrets. Divinity was camouflaged as vulnerability. It was the way you valued others, even after they had harmed you. Despite your pain, you persisted to help others. The way you kept your resolution in the face of multiple challenges was impressive. That is what they witnessed. That's what prompted them to leap. This is what distinguishes you. I am aware that you have been considering my future actions, Lord. Therefore, we should talk tomorrow. What are the next steps? I'll inform you. Instead of fury or pride, you move on with confidence and peace. This is the peace that comes from knowing that God is observing, leading, and selecting you. It is useless to seek retaliation. You do not have to provide any evidence. Your accomplishment, healing, contentment, and calm rise will be more important than the information they intended to gather. However, I do require one item from you. Avoid suppressing your feelings. I understand that it appears to be in fantastic shape. I'm aware that it improves your mood. However, it is not recommended to build new obstacles just because someone attempted to cross the existing ones. I will secure your safety. Archangel Michael should be your weapon. Utilize the truth to protect your interests. Additionally, it is critical that you be alert at this time, youngster. The person who launched the process is enduring a shift. They assumed they were merely obtaining a better knowledge of you. They had no idea they were approaching a heavenly trap designed to redirect them rather than hurt them. Because this is more than just a favor from me to you. I am using it to establish their guilt. Your very being is currently conveying a message. Someone who was suspicious of this type of affection until they witnessed it in you. A spiritual awakening, a mirror, and a lesson. In that regard, you are really powerful. This is why the adversary tries to divert your attention, instill feelings of uncertainty, exhaustion, and anxiety, make you doubt your intuition, and stall your progression to the next level. However, it is too late at this stage. You have seen an enormous amount. You have received an excessive volume of information. You are currently conscious. You are unable to fall back asleep after waking up, neither in a spiritual or emotional sense, nor in a prophetic sense, because you are already aware that you are doing God's purpose. Every delay was delicious. The goal of each no that made you cry was to keep you safe. Each moment of silence you loathed served as a practice session. At the moment, this unusual, emotional, and enigmatic letter serves as evidence. There is evidence that you are not mad and that your intuition was correct. I would like you to know that I have always been on your side. This is the conclusion. Look at yourself in a mirror, a window, or your phone screen and say, I am not who they claimed. I am not the focus of their search. I am the person God has called me to be. I've been selected. I am safe. I'm currently unoccupied. I will ascend without fear. Heaven stops moving when you say this. Perceive the energy that is circulating in your surroundings. Archangel Michael will now place his hand on your shoulder to let you know that the message has been conveyed. The truth has been revealed. The safety function has been activated. Also, the next part of your story has already begun. A message of affection. Please keep in mind that each seed you plant in this quest will grow into a torch that shines light into another's darkness. Heaven progresses through the words of those who are willing, but it grows through the goodness of their souls. I'm currently addressing you in this method. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. The verse, "Give and it will be given to you," does not only apply to Jesus. It is an ongoing commitment that affects your future. I'd like to extend an invitation to you at this time through a simple act of trust. Approach this situation with a feeling of purpose, honesty, and hope. The amount you contribute today is not a donation. Your heavens are opened via the act of spiritual obedience. Relinquish your seed and witness what rewards God delivers into your life. As you go through this awakening, remember that your assistance with this endeavor is not a hoax. It's a heavenly omen. Jesus claims that by giving water to others, you will receive it yourself. This isn't historical. It is an ongoing commitment to your future. Approach this situation with a strategy and faith. Giving can help you realize the potential that God has already built for your life. Please sign this paper before your departure. Please include the following words in the comments. I'm announcing a new beginning now, not tomorrow. Not now, rather, when circumstances improve. When you write, you make a mark in the sand. Heaven is recording the words you say to the enemy. You are incapable of contacting me. It's difficult for you to find me. I cannot be stopped. Perform the action at that moment. Input the text. Accept it. If this message has struck a chord with you, do more than just experience it. Take action. To subscribe, simply click the designated symbol. Don't miss any additional communications from the heavenly realm. This is the beginning of something significant, not the end. A message is currently being prepared. Maintain your proximity. Continue to listen. Prepare yourself. A message of affection. You're not alone. We've not forgotten about you. I can guarantee you that you are not being overlooked. You are on the verge of the season when things start to make sense. This was your opportunity. Your attentiveness makes me proud as your God. Please go immediately. I will be present throughout the entire duration. Archangel Michael will also attend. I understand, youngsters. Please let me continue. Even when the message has been delivered, your soul still needs a final, soft embrace from heaven. I am still embracing you at this time. I understand how difficult it has been to hold on to so many unanswered questions. Interested in understanding the causes behind specific people's bad behavior toward you? Why were they unable to be honest? Why did they have to send someone out to find something that you could have given them for free if they had the confidence to ask? I feel isolated as the person who regularly recognizes the truth. To be able to discern events before they happen, and to recognize when one is being watched, studied, analyzed, or even adored. You are not fabricating information. It is not an overwhelming lot for you to handle. Your spirit is sensitive because it was meant to be clever. This is how I chose to create you. Your ability to experience emotions is a blessing. What you are aware of, you maintain. You're not insane. This is a prophecy. You've always been able to hear what else is out there, even before you knew how to express it. This is why I selected you to receive this letter. Although not everyone will understand it, you will, because you have always been aware of your uniqueness. The person who witnessed you also noticed the distinction. They were concerned about entities that they did not understand. They tried to calm their concerns. Furthermore, they attempted to watch from a distance the conditions that they were unable to change in order to gain knowledge without compromising their safety. However, this is not how the link operates. It is impossible to keep one's individuality while looking into another's mind. When they allowed another person to access your energy, they created a spiritual doorway. Yet, their efforts were ineffective. They located me. They learned the truth. Love blossomed between them. They encountered purity. It made them shudder. The investigator had no idea they would have a spiritual awakening, yet it happened because to your guidance. You don't even need to try to have that much power. You're now receiving a reward. Not with loud applauding and shouting, but with something even more remarkable. Divine acceleration. The days ahead will be unlike any other. It is vital that you regard them as precious and distinctive. Start your day with a strategy. Speak clearly. Move with elegance, as your actions will now result in miracles happening at a different rate. Things that used to take years to do can now be completed in a few weeks. Doors that were previously secured can now be opened independently. You are witnessing God's outpouring. The person who started this spiritual chain reaction is still present, but they are now viewing the issue from a different perspective. Being in command is no longer the top priority. It is not about being interested. So, it refers to being astounded. Their feelings are palpable, but they are unsure how to express them. That you are not a person they can rationalize, but rather someone they may admire for your humility. They are also suffering a predicament. This communication is not intended only for you. You're aware of this. It refers to the variables that elicit responses from others. Your radiance forces people to confront their own obscurity. Because of your purity, their hidden sorrow is exposed. They are reminded of what they are missing, such as the honesty they have been avoiding or the healing they require since you are here. Also, I need you to be aware of this, youngsters. It is not your fault that they were unable to handle you. You should not have to carry their humiliation. Nonetheless, it is not your obligation to address issues they are unwilling to tackle. On the contrary, you must continue to radiate. Regardless of whether you receive the affection you desire from others, you must continue to work to improve your condition. The truth will eventually emerge as a result of your experiences. The period during which observers gain knowledge. The point at which your silence turns into a sermon and your calm becomes fortitude. It is unnecessary for you to converse with them. It is needless to send a message. You are aware of the knowledge, therefore there is no need for you to repeat it. Present. Inhale deeply. Allow your life to speak as you accompany me, for I am about to conduct an action in your story that cannot be ignored. Individuals that oppose you will claim that they are under the power of God. You will no longer have to defend your value. There is no need to grovel for attention. You will not have to prove your innocence, beauty, or connection to your destiny. I'll now complete that task on your behalf. The following is my final mutter of the evening. A love letter and an infant. You have the right to hear every word that God sends next. Please click the subscribe button and ring the bell to ensure you do not miss any updates. This message has the potential to hold your spirit together in the face of hardship and to make you feel heard, even in the deepest sorrow. This season, avoid strolling alone. You are extremely valuable, significant, and indispensable. A message of affection. Additionally, Archangel Michael has not migrated. His corpse remains close to you. He will emerge in your dreams tonight. He will look for your home, heart, and sleep. You may feel a warm sensation. You may experience a sense of calm that has not been felt in weeks. He is the person in question. This ensures your protection. You are surrounded by heaven, and this is not the end. This was just the beginning. Unstoppable is the title of the upcoming chapter. Rest now, my darling, and know that you will no longer be under watch when you awaken. Others are observing you. One more chore must be fulfilled before you depart. Press the like button twice. Assistance is not the only goal in this situation. It is about preserving the favor. Each like you supply is a proclamation that you are inviting God's goodness into your life. Once you've accomplished the assignment, your spirit will say, "I'm ready for the flow." Visualize paradise as you let go of all that's been holding you back. Please make a huge step forward. Payment and peace. Everything is currently moving toward you. This video is very intriguing to me. Acquire it and proceed. Blessed. Amen. Certainly, my dear darling. We are almost there. Nonetheless, I'd like to transmit an additional swell of truth into your soul, since the job I'm doing in you isn't just beneficial. It implies a fresh start. This is not the entirety of what I am offering you. I'm going to change your outlook on yourself. You will notice an improvement in vitality and calm that is unaffected by external situations. There is a reason for your current existence. We should now halt and read the last piece of this communication. This portion officially finishes God's observations about your life tonight. Please be attentive, child. There is a reason for the enemy's tremendous resistance against you this year. Things did feel heavier, more painful, and less distinct than they normally do for a reason. You are undergoing an interior transformation. Something sacred cannot be hidden any longer. The version of yourself I constructed before the world began to shift. You were the person into whom you were penetrating. It was also noticed by the adversary. He noticed the return of light within your essence. He noticed that your petitions were growing increasingly effective. He noted that your heart would not freeze. He noticed that you were starting to glance up again. He had a terrified reaction. Unfortunately, it is too late for him, child. You have crossed the precipice. Faith has overcome fear in your spirit, and peace now vibrates more loudly than panic. Miracles will no longer be something to await, but something to accompany. I will now proceed to notify you of the next events. Something important is expected to occur within the next few days. There will be times when you feel as if you are outside of time. A voice, a message, or an unexpected sentence were heard. It was small in the physical domain, but extremely boisterous in the spiritual sphere. When it happens, you'll feel it physically. It will impact your sternum. You'll be aware that this is it. I know that God is with me. He intended every word he spoke. Because the miracle has already been granted, that instant will set off a series of occurrences. It was sufficient for your heart to be in the right place. Presently, this is the case. You're not the same person you were 1 week ago. You matured while being mute. You have recovered in pieces. You're now ready to reach completeness. You are ready for a love that inspires sentiments of security. Prepare for these opportunities. They will not drain your energy. You are prepared to have companions who can recognize and protect your light. The divine favor that lasts has arrived. It remains. I am truly interested in informing you about this. You didn't overlook it. You have not made a mistake. You did not need an extended period of time. You are punctual. I ensure that all items are visually appealing at the proper time. This infant requires your attention. However, there is an additional aspect. A new person has entered your life, or I am going to do so. Their adoration is reserved solely for you. This individual will not drain your vitality. They won't make you feel bewildered. They will not cause self-doubt. Individuals will view and admire you for reasons other than your brilliance. This person has also been through their own fires, and your encounter will be marked by a sense of destiny, peace, and the end of the universe. I wish for you to keep that affection in your heart. Do not decline it because you have unpleasant feelings about the past. Allow it to enter, as I instructed, and when I send someone, they do not leave you in the same state. I would like you to look in the mirror and speak aloud tonight. You may face ridicule. Continue executing it. Avoid moving. Repeat the words, I am chosen to yourself several times. I am deserving. I am prepared. My miracle has arrived. Continue to say it till an incident happens. Repeat the statement until an opportunity appears. Repeat it till you understand it. I'm confident in you because I am. I have always believed in you, even when you did not believe me. I never abandoned you, whether you were running, quiet, fatigued, or disoriented. I'd like you to do one more task. Don't get anxious or irritated. Keep your spirit open, since good things will come your way like rivers when you stay open. When you awaken, you will have thoughts. You won't know why, but you'll feel calm. That is how my favor operates. You will begin to gather stuff without putting forth any effort. It is entirely at your discretion. It is not necessary for you to pursue it. You do not have to take any action. It is sufficient to say, Yes, Lord, I am present. I am willing to embrace everything. If you are still reading, weeping, and believing in Glowing Star, please post a comment below with the phrase, This is my confirmation. This item carries my name. This item carries my miracle is genuine. I have been chosen by God. Please raise your hands if you're dizzy and subscribe, youngster, as you and I have only recently started this voyage. It was not only a message. It was a momentous spiritual moment in which all elements were in perfect harmony, and heaven will remember that you took the next step today. Do not rest as if you are still awaiting. Be at peace, because you already know the gift is on its way, and don't be surprised if you find yourself smiling tomorrow. It is realistic to expect acquiring a product that appears to be too good to be true. You will say, God, you truly accomplished it, just as I shall, and I will be with you till the end, forever and ever, with more love than your heart can ever contain. You are God. Of course, my child. I invite you to remain silent for an additional amount of time. Reduce your respiration rate. Spare yourself the burden. Allow the tension you were unaware you possessed to evaporate in my presence, as I have not stopped engaging in any action since the words were completed. I feel affection for you. True love never departs when the message is concluded. It persists. It tracks your activity. It communicates without making any sound. The universe surrounds your spirit, even when it is extremely loud. Gil, I am currently involved in this activity. It is no longer just a message. It's about being present. My own. Yours. Ours. I also want you to feel a strong emotion about a subject that I've been addressing with you through signs, coincidences, song lyrics, visions, and events that you previously dismissed as insignificant. This is a statement I have made to you countless times. You're not trailing. I am confident that you have considered and experienced it. My question is, why haven't you caught up yet? It appears that there are people who are more advanced. Their circumstances appear to have improved, and their prayers seem to have been answered. I want you to know that you are exactly where you should be as your God, Father, and the one who sees back in time. The waiting times were not a form of punishment. They were prepping. The broken souls were not a mistake. They acted as filters, removing stuff that was never intended to remain in your spirit. Silence was not an indicator of vulnerability. I was the one luring you in, because I was only able to teach you about some issues in a peaceful environment. The private investigator's attempt to study your life without your permission was the final spark. That was the last exam. This is the item I was supposed to bring to you, not because you had something to hide. You are secure. It may happen without your knowledge or awareness. Even while others are trying to read your life story, I have the pen. They are not permitted to dictate the finish of your story. They are not allowed to establish the meaning of your name. They cannot see the whole picture unless I give them access. You are now aware of this information as well as the level of security you have. It is time to face the days ahead with sacred confidence. I'm not aiming to prove anything, and I'm not being nasty or angry. Simply retain a sense of calm, confidence, and steadiness. Because when people are truly emancipated, they do not need to shout. Their influence stems from their state of peace. Right now, you have no limitations. I'm not afraid. I am not attempting to satisfy others. It is pointless to try to describe oneself to people who cannot understand one's emotions. Consciousness